This is Tony Holowitz, and I want to thank you for being a part of this training today. Right now, I want to talk about what happens when we're working with a slideshow and we decide that we either want to add slides or maybe move slides around. What I want to draw your attention to is over here on the left-hand side. I want you to see that previously all our slides had a blue background, and now I've gone in, I've made a couple green and one red and one white. Now the reason for that is this. Let's say you run your presentation and you decide, geez, it's a pretty good presentation, but you know what? The slides are a little bit out of order. I think the presentation would flow a little bit better if they were in a slightly different order. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down to the bottom left, and this is what's called the slide sorter view. And I'm going to click on that. And what it does is it shows me all my slides in a row. Or not in a row, but in order, 1 through 9. Now, there's a couple of ways I can work with this data. For example, let's say that we decide that slide number 4 is a slide that we really want to have as slide number 3. Well, if I click on this and hold and drag it just to the right of slide number 2 and let go, you'll see I move that. Now the reason I made these things different colors is because if I didn't make them different colors, it might not be readily apparent that I moved these around. If you have a lot of slides and they're off the screen, you can adjust the zoom level to fit things in. So for example, if I go to 100%, now they all still fit, but if I had 18 slides, some of them would be off the screen and it might be a little awkward to work with. So again, let's say I want to take this one, the red one, and I want to put it over here. I just drag it to where I want it, release, and then I'm done. So it reorders the slides. But let's say that slide number 2 is a slide that is an introduction based on where you are at a given time. So for example, let's say slide number 2 is originally done, and I know it doesn't say this, but bear with me. Let's say you're doing a presentation at the local Chamber of Commerce, and slide number 2 says, thank you very much, Boston Chamber of Commerce, Chicago Chamber of Commerce, San Francisco Chamber of Commerce, wherever you might be. And you all of a sudden realize, you know what, you're now giving this at the local business club or the business networking club or whatever it might be, and the Chamber of Commerce has nothing to do with it. Well, instead of redoing everything and at last minute, what you can also do is if you right click on a slide, you have some options. And I do urge you, whenever using Microsoft products, to right click periodically because you'll find different ways of doing things. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down and click on Hide Slide. And what I want you to observe is the slide isn't gone, it's still there. But see down here where the number is? I don't know how well you can see that, but there's a little square around it, a gray square with a line through it. So let me go click on slide 1. And remember, slide 2 is our green slide. I'm going to go to the slideshow. I'm on slide 1. I'm going to use the right arrow key to go on to slide 2, but remember we hid that. So actually what's going to happen, it's going to go to slide 3, and then slide 4, and so forth. So we can run through these slides, we can move them around, we can hide them, we can bring them back. There's a lot of things you can do with the presentation once you're, what you think maybe you're finished with it. The other thing you can do is, let's say you want to copy a slide. Now in this particular case we have a lot of different slides and we have different colors. Let's say I want to copy the red one. Well, if I click on it, then right click and go copy, I can copy the slide. I can click anywhere I want. Let's go click between the last few slides. I'm going to right click and do paste. Now I'm using right clicking to do this, but what you'll see it did is it took on the characteristics of the slide it was put between. I have this little dialog box called paste options. I can click on this down and I can say keep source formatting, meaning I want to keep the formatting of the red versus the formatting in which it's aligned with, the blue. And that can be a little confusing, but the bottom line is you can copy and paste things. So a lot of times if you need to create a new slide, what I'll do is I'll find the slide that's closest to what I want to work with, copy that one, paste it, and then go in and modify the text. I can also just simply go up to the toolbar and insert a slide that way. Up here on the right hand side it says new slide. If I click, I'll insert a new slide. But I had selected or been right there, so that's why I tried to pick that area. So A lot of different things you can do with these. You can also delete slides. I don't recommend deleting them. Hide them if you find you don't want them. You can copy, you can paste, you can move them around. This is a great way to work with the slides. And again, now because they're off the screen, what you have the ability to do is then go and zoom out, maybe make it smaller so you can see all of them. And this is how you can manipulate or work with your slides. My name is Tony Holowitz. Thank you so very much. Have a great day.